Break, you've come back to a flurry of media headlines. The other one that it hit you right up front was the trouble in the DRC and the fighting that's taking place with your shareholders in that territory. Can you elaborate on the situation and give us clarity on where you stand with regard to the DRC at this stage?
We've been in the DRC since 2001. We got the license, we teamed up, we got married to a partner in the DRC, CWN. And we've invested in the DRC over the years. We've built a network and we turned out to be the #1 network. So we've made really a big difference to the country, but it takes a lot of investment. Unfortunately, over the years, our partner, and they're a 49% partner, have not had the funding to also contribute their part of the relationship as far as funding goes. So we as Vodacom put in loans to the company in the DRC, and as far as I remember, you charge interest on a loan. So we've charged interest on the loans, and that's been paid back to Vodacom Group. What has now happened is we've come to the end of some of the agreements, and the company also needs to raise more capital, and we can't forever fund the business. So we are giving the indications that we need to find other funding, and if we can't find funding is difficult in the DRC. The shareholders will have to come up with money, and so what the other shareholders have now told the world is that Vodacom as a shareholder, yes, we can put in the funding, we can put in the loan, but things work differently. You shouldn't, as a shareholder, charge interest. So the discussions are around that. But I think the DRC is still a good place to be. I've always liked going to the DRC. It's a country that's got lots of potential. It's got every mineral that you can think of in the world is in the DRC. Friendly people. So I just like going there. And I think one day the DRC will be a big player in Africa. They're central, they're big, they're as big as Western Europe. So we're not going to just give up and run away.
How do you react to the mudslinging in the press when you, as CEO of the Vodacom Group, open up the newspaper and there are the accusations from your shareholder CWN in the DRC with their lawyer chomping at the bit to sue you?
I think the important thing is it is important for us to continue with the message that we are not against the DRC. We like the people there, we support the government there, and we want to continue to be a player in the DRC. I also don't want to fight over these issues in the media. It's like being married, and we are having difficulty. But is
a divorce imminent?
Look, if things don't get solved in the end, divorce is always a possibility, but we're not there yet.
Certainly, it's not the DRC is not a significant contributor to your profit line, but the issue that's been debated, certainly on the Business Tonight news desk, among potential shareholders and fund managers, is whether this is an indication of further trouble as you try to expand onto the African continent.
Look, every country on the continent is unique. Different countries have developed differently over the years. The DRC has had different issues. They've come out of a war. They have the economic situation last year hit them very badly. A lot of the mines had to close down temporarily. And if you look at other countries, the African continent, 1 billion people living on the continent, telephony, early days, internet penetration, very low. So the continent has a lot to still present to investors. We as investors also still has a lot to do for the continent, because from telecommunications comes economic development. And I believe that if we can continue to invest, we've done the voice, we are democratizing voice on the continent, but the next step is definitely internet.
And what are your aspirations on the internet side for the African continent?
As I mentioned, internet penetration very low. If you look at 15 years ago, voice penetration was very low. So over the years, that has been built up. But today, if you want to do business, you can't just be able to make a call or receive a call. You need to be part of the world. Take children. If they really want to be part of the economy one day, they need to know what's going on, and the internet is one answer. Good schooling is one, but also you need access to information. Email, good communications. So that's why we are, together with others, continue to invest in Africa. Take the WACS undersea cable, the West African cable system. That is going to make a big difference to the continent. Putting a lot of bandwidth up the coast, bringing the rest of the world to Africa.